In week 3 of the series on Reconstruction, we hear from John Orozco about how our walls that we construct can become the tables at which we invite people to a relationship with Jesus. Did I get that right, John?
Yeah, totally.
Thank you so much. I love this message, and I'm so glad we get to talk about how we can use our our constructs for something really, really positive. And you said in the message that Peter's life was tangled up with these rules and regulations and even tribal restrictions. How has that been true of you personally?
Oh, the things that I've grown up with have formed barriers for me that I recognize. I feel when I'm having interactions with people or when I'm driving about. I mean, even something stupid. I remember in junior high, there used to be a thing called rappers and rockers. Like, that was a thing.
Okay.
And based on what side you chose, those were the friends that you had, and you didn't.
Yeah, the little tribes at school.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, there was even, I think it was going to be a fight after school one day where like the rappers were going to go fight the rockers, and
Were you in the rockers or the rappers?
I was in the rapper.
Really?
Group. Yeah.
Because you're kind of a rocker. To me.
I'm a little bit of both. I low key had friends on both sides of that aisle, but that's like something dumb when you're young, and then you get a little older, and there's other things that are culturally constructed. I'm African American, and I've had some negative experiences with white people, and growing up in an African American home. You hear about different tensions and different ways of perceiving how we should or shouldn't interact with others. And so even growing up, there were things that would cause me to like pause or pull back, or just I would project, and I still do to this day, on other people. Like, actually, we're not on the same side. We're not doing the same thing. And so even that like created some forms of behavior in me that were limiting, that were distancing.
Walls.
Walls, based on who I am, on my culture as an African American, as a Colombian, as an immigrant. Like, there are things that I think about other people, or that I perceive other people think about me. I mean, even driving through the streets, like I talk about in the message, and seeing different stickers that are posted up, like all of that, to me, I fill it with subtext and other associations that would say, you know what, you and I, we can't sit at a table, and that informs my behavior towards other people. And so these are things that I struggle with myself.
Oh, I agree. I think I have the same thing. So thank you for confirming that, because I feel the exact same tension. Jesus is teaching us to take our desires to just, we just want to follow a bunch of religious and cultural rules, and then reorient it to follow the rule of Jesus, you said. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, there's for all of us, like, a path that we walk down. There's a way. Like I was saying, there's a conservative way, a liberal way, a patriotic way, a woke way. And all of these things have within them like rules that you follow, that you uphold. There's voices that sort of lead the crowds. And the reality is that at a base level, when you strip it all away, we're all searching for a way to follow. And Jesus is like entering into the scene, and he's telling all of us, all of those ways are suboptimal compared to my way. So John, your way of determining what divides people, it's not these things of race, it's sin. And he reorients my mind to think about the sin that's in my life, and the way that like it detracts from relationship with other people, and then it gives you compassion and empathy and mercy for others, going, we're all struggling with this. And so these walls that I put up to protect myself because of Jesus, they, like, one by one, they fall down, and they create space for me to have conversation with people, to pause and think, oh, you know what, we're all struggling in this together. We're all searching for a way. John, just like you are searching for a way, have grace, have empathy for others as well, because I need it.
Are you also referring, are you referencing back to, going back to the whole woodworking illustration, to the plank in somebody else's eye and the splinter in your own? You're saying, like, no, you need to start looking at the sin that keeps you from other people, or the sin that keeps you from relationship, the sin that keeps you from relationship with God?
And there's something to accountability, personal accountability, going, okay, where do I fit in all of this? Where do my patterns, my behaviors contribute to the walls that are being built up. And so I think he's deconstructing that and then reconstructing something beautiful by taking the things in my life, the things that could be divisive, and submitting them and going, I need you to do something new because there are other people in this world who need you and you need them just as much.
You don't say this outright in your message, but you kind of talked about how the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And why do you think Jesus followers still have these really misplaced, quote unquote, good intentions? How do we get to that? How do we not just...
It's like micro movements where, and this is what's been happening since the beginning, micro movements that are aimed at like safety and comfort and hopefully an experience that is what we would consider like loving, but from people who we trust and who are safe. But really the reality is that all of that creates, like you're talking about, good intentions, this way that leads towards the path to hell. All of these things lead that way because of the way that it breaks relationship with each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, perhaps today, after listening to us, you also want, in the words of John Orozco, have this transformed heart, willing to become the material that the love of God would work through. If that's you, I want to invite you to join us here with our mission at Cornerstone Fellowship. And in CF Online, you can leave a comment, or you can send an email, you can text a friend, or get in a group. And then today could be day one of you leaving the rules that were imposed on you for following the way of Jesus. Man, I'm so glad that you were here. God bless you. See you next time.